The arts are at the root of all innovation. It's seeing things in new ways.
I'm hard-pressed to find somebody who doesn't connect to the arts.
We body slam verses and give each other Indian burns with imagery.
What do we need to do moving forward to sustain and maintain our arts ecology?
People are going to need to talk about topics in ways they haven't talked about before. Communities are the ones who ultimately implement the arts, support the arts.
All stakeholders in the arts and cultural sector are vested in this project.
The community will just see a more relevant, engaged cultural institution.
This is research designed to start a movement, neighborhood by neighborhood, community by community, that then resonates to the country as a whole. So we're starting this incredible project called the Initiative for Sustainable Arts in America. Sounds ambitious? It is.
The Initiative for Sustainable Arts in America is a 3.5-year project that will basically help to define the U.S. vital national interest in the arts.
Look around you. I look around. And the first thing that goes in communities are their arts and cultural assets. The idea that arts and culture is a public good but funded as a private good is irreconcilable. Our focus is on 6 critically important communities: Boston, Philadelphia, Miami, Los Angeles, Detroit, Minneapolis, St. Paul. And having those movements take place in those 6 cities gives us the basis to expand it. I think we're ready to say this is why arts and culture is important. And here are the things that we can do both at a federal level, and here's what our community responsibilities is.
As we go around and talk to different communities about their cultural assets, there's an incredible sense of pride and an incredible fear about what's going to happen to the place that I've always gone to, that I've relied on being there. The connection between it's always been there, I kind of rely on it and take it for granted, and looking at all of the changing patterns that are happening in all of these communities. And so bringing those 2 realities together, this is actually the right moment to do that. We are going to create groups in each of our 6 cities that are going to be looking deeply at their whole arts ecology. They will be defining the whole parameter of what that ecology looks like, and then also figuring out what are the things around it that support it.
I think the Initiative for Sustainable Arts in America opens up a new conversation, and what it could accomplish is really changing behavior out in the field. It's really got to incentivize risk in a new way. They're going to have to be willing to reach across the aisle to organizations they haven't really worked with before, but in a truly collaborative way. It's going to require organizations who are unfamiliar with research to unpack research in a new way and try to understand how it can enhance their daily lives. And it could encourage funders to fund in a whole new way.
The funding conversation happens really separately from the programming conversation, and this type of initiative brings those conversations together.
We have to get communities to buy in by listening to them, asking them what's important, what's scaring them, what their priorities are, what's relevant to them, how this could help them, and to shape this in an ongoing way with their feedback and participation at every single step.
If you think about what's been the greatest single impediment to getting this work done, it's because people don't want to see the facts. And so when we designed this project, we did it in a way in which all stakeholders in the arts and culture sector are vested in this project from the beginning and will see the facts. It won't be Harvard or some other intermediary telling you this is the facts. The facts will be there.
We can't have this conversation unless there's something to ground everybody at the same level. We've got to have data at the table so that this conversation is grounded, so that people are starting from the same place with the same numbers in front of them.
It's not just because it's about research, because research is important, I get that, but this is applied research.
I do think that the changing demographics in our country give us a tremendous opportunity to look at the arts in a new way.
I'm coming from a demographics where I didn't grow up listening to high art. I was exposed to what was around me, which was either hip hop, R&B, maybe alternative rock.
I want them to understand the power of their words like prayers, French braided into God's to-do list.
If our practice of the arts becomes a part of this larger dialogue, I think it's just moving towards a more inclusive national identity.
So one of the important distinctions of this work is changing the way funders think. At the same time, changing the way the nonprofit entities think as well. It's going to include grant makers in the arts, American for the Arts, the NEA, and many, many, many other players in this. When we're successful at the community level, we'll have left in place not just a plan, but the community will have taken the necessary steps to accept its responsibility so it can sustain, maintain, and nurture its vital cultural assets.
The drive to do this project is really to figure out what we need to be thinking about to ensure that it's not just for me, but it's for all the people who are coming after me, that they have the privilege of really expressing themselves and being surrounded by the things that make up real human fabric.